For my first DIY of 2018, we're going to be getting a simple cheap toy from the dollar store and repainting it to look like a totally legit prop. Let's get right into the build. So first I want to explain the whole story behind this. I was at my local Dollarama just looking at all the stuff on the shelves and decided to buy it. It was about $4 and I brought it home and I started Googling Star Wars guns because that's where I would probably recognize it from. And I realized that whoever designed this toy made it exactly based off of the Rebel blasters from Star Wars.
This is how similar both the toy and the prop actually are.
So today, first of all, it's a pretty good base. It's got a good look to it. All it needs is a good paint job. It's meant to shoot these like Nerf darts or whatever. Yeah, it's meant to shoot those by cocking this back. So I think I'm going to cut that off. And I'm going to try and fill in all the screw holes with like hot glue and super glue and stuff. And then, yeah, and then basically we can paint it. It honestly looks exactly, it's a bit smaller, but it looks exactly like the gun. So here, let's see if I can hit the camera while I'm at it. I think I got it. Yeah, so you could use those foam darts for something. I don't think I'm gonna end up using them. I can just shoot them in random places in my workshop, and eventually I'll find them. So the gun itself looks pretty good. It's got this sticker here. I'll probably just take that off. It's got a lot of screw holes, which I'm going to try and block off, but all of the fake screws, I think I might actually leave those, excuse me, and maybe try and drill out the barrel or not, still not sure, because you got to be nervous with the orange tip there. So I'd love to still have the clicking sound, but I feel like it's just not going to work out. I think I might cock this back, cut it, and then let it go back in and see what happens, because I do like that spring trigger. I love that idea of the trigger that springs. So we'll try to keep that, and let's start blocking the screw holes. So what I've done so far is I actually took out the whole firing mechanism. This is the whole mechanism that actually makes it fire. I took it all apart and then used some glue to glue it all back together to make sure no parts are going to fall out over time or move around. I screwed it all back together and now we're ready to fill up all the screw holes and then prime it. So to fill in the screw holes on the gun, we're going to be using a really interesting method using baking soda and super glue. So for those who don't know, baking soda will make super glue cure instantly. So if I sprinkle this into some of the holes, put a drop of glue on top of it, it'll seal the hole, we can sand it down flush, and it will never bother us again. So as you can see, all the holes in the gun are filled in. It didn't take too long to do it just right, and to get them nice and smooth wasn't that difficult either. So now we're going to get a sanding sponge and sand the whole surface of the gun, and that'll get it nice and coarse and ready to accept some paint. Something nice to do right now is to get your paint can of primer and put it in a bucket of warm water or put it in a sink full of warm water. That will get it ready to stick to the gun a lot better. Now that the gun has been sanded, it's completely ready for paint. I'm just going to get a wet piece of paper towel and wipe off, or try to wipe off, as much dust as I can. Now the one thing I can't actually show is me painting the gun. And the reason for that is it's winter here in Toronto. So this is the primer I will be using. This is Rust-Oleum Sandable Primer. And here's the finished painted toy gun. As you can see, it's starting to look a lot more like the real life prop. So all we have to do is a little bit of detailing and we'll be there. So first things first, once it's already painted black, this is just the Krylon matte black you saw before. I'm going to be using some Model Masters Chrome Silver, and I'm going to be painting the barrel, the slide, and some other random details on the scope. You can pretty much do whatever you want, because in Star Wars the guns change so often that you can kind of play with the details as you wish. So I've done a little bit of work on the gun. I've painted all the silver details. I've done all the screws. I've added some brass details on the scope just because I love the idea of brass dials up there. Added some more detail on the screws. I did take over with the scope. I like putting that silver on both ends. Kind of reminds you of the First Order. With model paints, you're supposed to do more than one or maybe even 2 or 3 coats. But because we're going to end up weathering this, I only did 1 coat on everything. So here you can see I've done a little bit of paint work on the gun. I've done a lot of dry brushing on the handle and the trigger, because these would be the most worn out areas, obviously. It's looking a little bit too pristine on the barrel in other places, because obviously you can't dry brush those. But on the little dry brush sections, it's starting to look really, really nice, bringing out the new contrast. I did actually mix silver and gold on these two bolts just to make them look a little bit extra cool. But now we need to get to the actual weathering. So first of all, in this cup is half brown acrylic paint, or espresso acrylic paint as it's called, and half warm water. And all I'm going to be doing is putting it everywhere I can on the gun and then wiping it away using a damp rag. And that'll help it get into all the recesses and make this gun look a little bit dirty. The longer that you let it stay on the gun, the more it will make the gun look dirty. And there you can see after our first coat, it's looking nice and grimy. Now we're actually going to add a little bit of black to the paint, and this will darken it down and really make it look like even more dirty. So, up close, here you can see what a little bit of proper weathering does to a prop. It really brings out the color, it just makes the whole thing look a lot older. It adds a lot of depth to it. It makes it feel like this has lived, it has a story to it. It makes it feel like it's done something in its life. It has. So there you have it. It's a super easy DIY for anybody to do. It only takes maybe an hour or two. It's a lot of fun, I'll be honest. It's really simple. It's really fun to do. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. I appreciate it a ton. I'm very sorry that this video came out super late, and I know what a lot of you guys are gonna say. This video has come super late, just like Farrell's Props, I swear. But life moves on, so have a good day, and thanks for watching.